first of all, let's say a very good evening to Peter Drury.
Thank you, Jim. Good evening to you and to everyone at home. New territory this for Arsenal at the start of a new attempt at last meaningfully to impact on Europe's major club competition. First-time visitors to Prague, indeed to the Czech Republic, even the old Czechoslovakia. And here they are, shaking hands at the start of a new campaign, remember, within a penalty shootout 4 months ago of acquiring a European trophy, and 500, maybe 700 have come from London to see them set out in search of the European trophy. Most of those Sparta guys are veterans of last season, widely considered to be among the best for Sparta in their recent memory, champions of the new independent Czech league for the 6th time in 7 years. Their side has glided seamlessly into a new campaign despite the loss of 4 key names to the Bundesliga. You'll learn about these names as we go along, but beware Oybaidin, who has scored in 6 out of 7, and as you've been hearing, Thomas Rosicky, number 25, who at 19 years old has already impacted significantly on the international scene. There are 2 players missing, by the way, to Olympic calls. Arsenal's captain tonight, Lee Dixon, and there's the team. Kanu declined his Olympic invite, though Loren has gone to Sydney. Bergkamp and Adams didn't travel. Vieira should be fresh mid-domestic suspension. Parler needed stitches on Saturday, so it's Freddie Ljungberg in his midfield slot. Silvinho's dead leg is alive again, so he returns at left back, a position from where Arsenal have scored 3 games running. Parler is fine for the Arsenal bench, as you see. Will Tor would probably get a run, you would think. Most of the rest are very young, except John Lukic, who, as he approaches 40, is old enough to be a dad to 1 or 2 of those. You are with On Sport 2, kicking off On Digital's live Champions League coverage in Group B. Arsenal Sparta Prague, officiated over by Gilles Vessière from Nice. If you want Rangers Sturm Graz, on Sport 1, channel 99. So unlike many of yours at home, the tank is full. Champions League 2000-2001 is ready to go. Third time lucky or not for Arsenal. 2 previous Champions League campaigns have fizzled away into nothing. Both actually having begun away from home with decent enough draws in Lens and Florence. I wonder, David Fleet, whether kicking away from home again, they would consider a draw to be a good enough result here.
I'm sure they will, but a win will be gratefully received. The group looks good for Lazio and the North Londoners, but I think the catalyst for success this season could be the advantage of Highbury compared to games at Wembley last season.
Silvinho's return is key, though Ashley Cole, the youngster, filled in very well at left-back at Bradford over the weekend, and as you will have read, scored. Patrick Vieira's return is more significant still, and he is the first to undergo a discretion. It's Arsenal's free kick. He has 3 of his domestic banned games still to come. And alongside him, in the absence now of Emmanuel Petit, who will be playing his Champions League football elsewhere, is Gilles Grimondi. This is Kanu, who won't want a repeat of last year's matchday one. Silvinho, Vieira, forward for Kanu. Henri's pulled away wide. Pires through the inside left channel, and this is Robert Pires. Kanu faced by Grigera. Vieira. Keown was sold short and went fulsomely into Oybaidin, who has gone down in a pile. No card, but certainly a free kick and maybe a bruise.
And I think it should have been a booking because Keown knew he was sold short. Here we see it, there's no question about it. The ball's not past him, he's very, very late. And Oybaidin will be disappointed, possibly. He didn't get the benefit of putting the Arsenal player under early pressure with a yellow card, but it's going to be stiff, possibly got a bit of a whack in the thigh.
Yuri Novotny, the captain of Sparta Prague. And this is Pavel Novotny, who wanders in from the left flank long-leggedly, in combination there with the fullback Grigera. Arsene Wenger has been very complimentary about Sparta Prague, in particular about their coach, Ivan Hasek, in whose career he has played quite a large part. Hasek came over and watched Arsenal train when he got the job here in Prague. He was a player in the Japanese J-League when Wenger was a rival manager, and he even played for Wenger's hometown club in France. Dixon's throw, Kanu holding off Giguera. Henry. Repelled by Pavel Novotny. And here is Giguera again, a Czech under-21 international. Kinsel came to get it. Down the line for Papausen. Silvino's going back and is quick over the first 3 or 4 yards, and necessarily so there. Svoboda. Vieira protecting the Arsenal penalty area. Pires. Running away from Minar, whose tackle back was successful and clean. Svoboda wearing 6. Into the path of Obaidin, away by Oleg Luzhny. Forward by Yuri Novotny. Aimed at Kinsel. He is the big, almost English-style centre-forward target man, of whom Obaidin is inclined to feed. There is Ivan Hasek, young man still, only 37. Many of you may still remember him as a player, clearly. He won 56 caps for the old Czechoslovakia and the new Czech Republic. Mina. Pavel Novotny. Cut out by Pires. Came to Henry. Ljungberg is free on the far side. Pires is going himself and was forced away wide by René Both for the game's first corner.
Strong defending by Both, showed some pace there. Early indications are that Sparta have some pace going forward on the right-hand side of the formation.
Vieira predatory on the edge of the penalty area. Keown is forward as a potential target too. Pires with the delivery. Headed away from in front of Kanu. Pires attempting to win it back. Aided by Silvino, who's heading for the byline. Silvino's cross. But Arsenal were out of the danger zone. Giguera got it clear. And Svoboda further clear. And Obaidin is breathing down Dixon's neck here. And the veteran fullback had to get it right.
Obaidin showed a little bit of pace there, considering he took that whack from Martin Keown in the first minute or so. But Dixon was up to it.
Henry, who has been very much up to it at the start of another campaign for Arsenal. Ljungberg. Grimondi. Good clean tackle by Rosicki. It's not an aspect of his game that has yet been talked about, but Grimondi found him a bullish competitor in the middle third there. Obaidin, who scored in 5 successive games at the start of this season.
Good goal-scoring performance, but also in as much as they were all single-goal victories. And that's when you really value a goal-scorer, when he gets them in single-goal victories.
Ljungberg going in on Rosicki, who's as slippery as an eel. So tight in possession, though in fairness, Ljungberg took the ball there. Arguable whether he came from behind.
French referee speaking well before the game with 2 ex-colleagues from that country, of course, in the Arsenal side.
Rosicki feeding off Obaidin, sage flick on. Kinsel waiting by the penalty spot. Rosicki squeezed out by the determination of Keown. It came back to Pavel Novotny. Svoboda. Giguera. Faced by Ljungberg. Svoboda. In for Kinsel, who's had time to turn and then had it stolen away from him by Vieira. Silvino nearly got into trouble at the feet of Kinsel. It's come out for Minar against Pires, who was the first line of defence.
Now Arsenal look the more refined side when they get possession, knocking the ball about, keeping possession. But when Sparta get possession, they play with some pace.
Perez. Vieira. Helter-skelter, fast, competitive. Football that is really meant by both sides in the first 8 minutes or so of a new Champions League campaign.
Both teams playing 4-4-2 system. Kanu up front with Henry. And for Sparta Prague, Kinsel partners the recent goal scorer Oybadin.
You know, here with the throw for Pavel Novotny. On to Oybadin. Away from Kinsel by Silvino. Minar going down under the challenge jointly of Perez and Silvino. New man at right back for Sparta Prague. He was competing for a 50-50 ball with Perez there, and it was really the second little jab from the Frenchman which caused the free kick to be awarded. Svoboda with that free kick. Seaman thought about coming, then didn't, and it was good judgment given that Keown got up high and effected a fulsome clearing header. Dixon. Henry, subtle touch, Ljungberg. Less subtle touch from Rosicki, who caused him to go to ground.
Lovely layoff by Henry from Dixon's pass. Dixon slides the ball into that forward position so well. There we see the challenge.
Lee Dixon at the start of his 14th season for Arsenal, his 559th appearance for the club tonight. And the motor purrs as strongly as ever. His free kick. Headed down for Perez. And headed awkwardly towards his own byline and beyond by Petr Papausek. Tomasz Pastulka, their Czech international goalkeeper, a little bemused. They have two international goalkeepers on their books to Sparta. Pastulka, funnily enough, is behind Blazek, his substitute at club level, in the international pecking order right now. He has a corner to face from Robert Perez. Headed down by Vieira, came to Henry, who couldn't react with sufficient haste. Dixon from square one again. And Oleg Luzhny, who of course came to our notice playing against Arsenal for Dinamo Kiev in this competition a couple of years back. Through for Kinsel, who shinned the game's first really open chance when there were so many other options available to him.
It was a lovely break by Papusek, but Kinsel showed the very poor confidence in striking that ball so weakly. First time he had the opportunity to take a first touch. He looks very big, he looks slightly awkward in movement. It'll be interesting to see if he's a threat in the air. He's certainly a 6'4", 6'5" character.
And they have on the bench, Sparta Prague, Marcin Prohaska, who is a dead ringer for him with long swept back hair. Minar there, the new full-back who they signed to replace Milan Fukal, who disappeared to Hamburg. Hamburg having lost Thomas Gravesen to Everton. It's all part of the transfer chain. Minar's free kick. Keown's upward header. Dixon brought it down. And thundered it into the upper tier. Svoboda. Firm tackle by Grimondi. And there have been a few in the opening exchanges of the game, and the referee has shown good restraint. Forward by both. Oybadin competing for it. With too much zeal, it's Arsenal with the free kick. There is little Rosicki, who got his first Czech cap just 4 months after his 19th birthday. He was involved at Euro 2000. Of course, the Czechs were a little bit unlucky, not least in that they got drawn in the same group as France and Holland, but also in that, at least one case, they were very unlucky to lose against those two heavyweights to a late De Boer penalty, I'm sure you'll recall.
He won a lot of admirers in that game against Holland.
Pires. Won well by Rosicki, who made himself time and found Svoboda, and he played it in for Kinsel, against whom the flag was raised. Probably a little more than half the game is being played in the Arsenal half.
That was an intelligent ball by there, Svoboda, trying to play the ball behind the Arsenal back line. There we see marginally Keonu, arms raised.
Ball for the header clear. Rosicki going in for it ahead of Jumbo. Riguer. Obaidi. Riguer. Pavel Novotny. Mina. And Papalsek wide. It's a very good recovering tackle from Pires. You can ask no more of a wide tracking player than that. Silvino emerging from the danger zone was clouted.
It's obviously a ploy to try and get Mina forward as much as possible and attacking right back. He has the security of Novotny holding for him when he goes forward. Silvino not too happy with that challenge. He's so sharp, he's so bright, you almost think he's a midfield player at times with his clever footwork.
Left back has been a big position for Arsenal this last couple of weeks. Here's Carnu, and Silvino has got forward wide of Carnu, who's got in field instead when all he had to aim at was Henry. Riguer. Yuri Novotny, who they call their symbol of fidelity. He's been at the club for a decade and more. And he stayed true to his home nation. Rosicki, whose loyalty will no doubt be tested by big Czechs as the weeks and months go by, and whose patience is being tested by a niggly tackle there from Grimandi, though, again, there was plenty of ball in the challenge.
Once again, I thought a fair challenge, but already we see the determination and the application of Rosicki in midfield to try and get forward with the ball, to try and beat his immediate marker in midfield and run into those dangerous positions in front of the Arsenal back four.
Lushkin. Carnu still to score for Arsenal this season in 5 games.
It's coming a little bit deeper, Carnu, at times, setting things up, not playing as the lead man, shielding it.
Grimandi. Yuri Novotny denied the pass a chance to get through to Henry, who was well placed in the inside right channel. Lushkin. Silvino wide and advanced again. It's come infield instead to Carnu. Svoboda tackling back. Arsenal's free kick. Plum centre. 15 yards outside the penalty area. Games without a goal since getting one against Newcastle on last season's final day for Carnu. Henry there over the free kick has had no such starvation diet. 4 already this year, all of them in London. 3 at Highbury, 1 at Chelsea. Now in someone else's capital city, Thierry Henry with Arsenal's first chance meaningfully to create. It's Henry's free kick. It's a more than comfortable catch for the keeper.
Well, he got the bend, didn't get enough pace, and probably distance was a little bit optimistic. Nice, comfortable catch.
Novotny coming off for a second challenge with Carnu. Start. He is principally a wide player. It's a bit of a surprise to see him lining up in central midfield against Zimbru Chisinau in the qualifying round, who was skinning his fullback regularly. That's Kinsel winning the header. Out by Silvino. Further forward by Vieira. Henry. Vieira. Dixon has chogged forward from right fullback. Jumbo. Henry wanted to let it run for Pires, who wasn't on quite the same wavelength. Usually away from Kinsel.
Good play by Lusny, just dropped off. Read it well. Sometimes not the most comfortable as a centre-back, likes to raid down the right, but he's done a good job for Arsenal this season. Looked as though at one time they were looking to move him, but he's proved a valuable member of the squad. Colleague, of course, of Rebrov of Tottenham from his Kiev days.
Pires. Ljungberg running at Novotny. He's striking his cross against one of those long legs. Ljungberg again. Grimaldi making a run in front of him. Ljungberg going across the face of the penalty area.
A couple of misplaced passes in high forward positions. Little bit of loss of shape. Pires was going over to the right-hand side. Quite manoeuvrable, the Arsenal players. What you do know is when they pick up the ball, they've got the pace and they've got the skills to dribble, as they proved so well against Chelsea last week in that wonderful Premier League game.
Halsek there with the errant pass. He's just come back from a spell at a less fashionable club, Jablonec, to whom he was loaned for most of last season after niggly injuries and loss of form. They say he's got himself back now. Yuri Novotny, incidentally, in case you're wondering, the two Novotnys aren't brothers. There are two Svobodas in Ivan Hasek's squad who are brothers, though one of them hasn't been picked in tonight's 18. Novotny, beyond Kinsel, when the ball half a yard in front of him might have well seen Arsenal going behind.
And very calm defending there by Pires in his own 18-yard box, and now picking the ball up and running at pace.
Pires wide for Ljungberg. Henry through the middle. Kanu galloping forward as well. Ljungberg has delivered. Henry's in there. Close. And the best we've seen of Arsenal.
Fast attack, using the pace of Pires and the movement of that man who scored so many goals, vital goals for Arsenal. Running just in front of the defender. Hands together.
Pat Rice next to Arsene Wenger there in that pensive position was actually a part of the Watford squad that came here and was the last English club squad to play away to Sparta Prague in the UEFA Cup of 1983-4. He was a fullback, of course. Nigel Gibbs, who still turns out for Watford, was part of that squad too. Richard Jobson, John Barnes. They got beaten 4-0. Ljungberg again, Kanu, and Freddie Ljungberg. That was precious little in the way of a target. The great Leeds team won here in the Affairs Cup of 70-71, but Arsene Wenger, who has a mind for history, will know that theirs is the only English club success on this ground. Silvino found Vieira, and Vieira shaped his shoot, and a bit of canny return ball for Silvino. That was terrifically inventive football theoretically, though it didn't come off in practice.
And Posocka had to be bright to read that situation. Silvino playing it short and continuing his run.
Ljungberg. Henry had pulled away wide. He's faced by Mina. Ljungberg. Silvino, whose first thought and move is always forward. Clever from Mina to get away from Pires. He looks a lively forward-thinking fullback as well.
Yeah, he does indeed. I mean, that was a little bit of, you know, impetuosity, I suppose, by him to try and do such a trick in that position, but he started very sound. He looks quick. Looks a good tackler too. There you see it. No, he got away with it.
One from Brigera. This is Papolka. Loosely competitively at his back, and right under the nose of the referee's assistant. Wasn't a lot more than a short above, was it?
No, but it was obstruction.
Svoboda is the regular set-piece deliverer. It's his right-footed kick, headed away by Grimondi. Papalsek. Product of Dukla Prague, as was the old army side.
Yes, Czech football isn't what it used to be. They had a wonderful spell in the early 60s with great players like Masopust and Pluskal. And then, of course, they had a wonderful time in England in the European Championships, getting to the final with good players like Poborski and Babel. And Berger, of course, and Smisa.
Smisa and Berger and Poborski, chiefly considered to be Slavia Prague men, but as David says, many of them have come from this club as well. Papalsek. Beyond Vieira, and got a nick off Silvino. It's a Sparta Prague throw. There are the Arsenal supporters. Whether they'll be saving up to go to Donetsk is something only they will know. It's a long, long way away.
And I think they'll need an overcoat because I think it's in November, I believe.
Correct. Usually away from Kinsey. Papalsek. Called by Wolf. Out by Patrick Vieira, who's had a quiet, authoritative start to his return into the Arsenal side. Keown's header away, followed up by Svoboda and seen out by Dixon, who wants to throw in, and is given the throw in, and is in a hurry to take it. Moment for Mina, away by both. Pavel Novotny. Zdeněk Svoboda. He's got away from Dixon. Svoboda with the cross, beyond Kinsey. And behind by Silvino, aware perhaps that Rosicki was a yard or two behind him, with finger on trigger, ready to volley.
Sensible play by Silvino, particularly if he didn't get a call. But it was good play by Svoboda. We thought he might be playing on the right-hand side of midfield. He's playing in the centre with Novotny, and he's doing a good job. Looks as though he's got a bit of skill and some strength.
Papalsek's corner. Vieira got the first telling touch, and indeed the second. And Seaman's rescue act didn't come off. He thought he might have conned the official. His smile tells you that, but knew deep down that the ball was behind.
Both teams employing two on the posts from corners. Both teams all fancy their chances from corners.
Flicked on cleverly towards Novotny at the back post, who's a regular scorer from centre-back. Rosicki. Yuri Novotny. David Seaman is still funny enough to keep a clean sheet in Champions League football. Papalsek's set piece is threatened into a certain degree there, but he only played twice last year, the games at home to Fiorentina and to Barcelona. Because of injury, Alex Manninger played the other 4. Last one he let in this competition was Batistuta's bullet. Mina. Taken by Silvino. Perez. Rimondi. Oh, he's run into trouble. He's had it taken from him by Kinsey. It's wide for Rosicki. Well, Luzhny's covered really strongly there with good authority, and he's been fouled. He has a chance to take breath, but he shielded the penalty area expertly there in the way of a man who is naturally a full-back.
Well, it was frustration there by Ruditsky. If he would have played the ball in early, that would have been the better choice. He decided to hold on to it, and in the end, the strength of Luzhny won the day.
Wolf's errant header. Henry sniffed something near in the bottom. He snuffed it out. Mina, again with the confidence to run away from Perez and from Kanu, and to feed Kinsel. Papalsek wide. He nutmegged Silvino. He got away with what seemed like a body check. Perhaps Papalsek ran into him. Grigera.
Sparta beginning to have the territorial advantage now, playing with quite a lot of verve at the moment. The supporters are right behind them. They're getting forward from the full-back areas. Tell the Novotnys aren't brothers really. One's about 6'4" and the other one seems about 4'6". At least that's from here.
It's Grigera, who's fast and has taken on Dixon and has put in a cross which Kinsel failed to connect with, perhaps deliberately. It may be that he felt letting it run was the better policy. Papalsek was arriving backstick. Seaman, though, might have been inconvenienced by a little touch here from the big centre forward. Let's see.
It was a good run to the near post, but once again it was a break from full-back. Grigera, who put that good ball in.
Svoboda's corner. That's a fine stop by Seaman, who may have seen it late from Novotny's glancing header, which used all the pace of the corner, and now Perez is breaking, and Arsenal from a position of peril have great hope, and Perez has gone down under the challenge of Grigera, but is deemed to have run into it. No free kick given.
Well, there's a debate. If he thought that Perez dived, even though it may be outside the area, was he looking to gain a free kick?
Well, if Perez did dive, then it's a scandalous waste of a terrific opening for Arsenal.
As it happened, I thought the defender made a mistake by holding off Perez, and in the end he got away with it.
Papalsek. Vieira got in the way. Kanu. By Mina, what a good player he is. Obaidi. Grigera wide. Rosicki. This looks an accomplished Sparta Prague side, it really does. Kinsel. Pavel Novotny. Mina. Svoboda.
Waiting desperately there for the big centre forward to pull away for the back post for the header. Then he's come short into the play and they've lost possession. If they get into a good attacking position, they've got to try and hit him at the back post.
Henry found Kanu. Kanu has picked out Perez, who's labouring to keep this in. Faced by Novotny, who came close to scoring moments ago for Sparta Prague. Silvino. And still Silvino. And still Silvino! Yes! What a lovely, lovely individual goal. all his own work. He waited and wondered as the ball bounced so teasingly towards the line. The hug is from his compatriot Vivas on the bench. The applause is from the Arsenal fans and for the Arsenal fans. It's Silvino, it's a terrific goal.
Well, he weaved through magically there. We said earlier on he plays sometimes like more of a midfield player. He's got such good footwork. Hard luck there to the retreating Novotny to try and get that ball off the line. He skips inside Minar, goes past Bolt rather easily. Novotny doesn't get near enough to make a challenge, and he pushes it cleanly over Pastulka into the goal. A magnificent goal. I think that's probably the fourth game now running. They've scored from left back. Ashley Cole, a great talent, is sitting in the wings, but Silvino is a real wonderful left back. He's got great footwork.
And older viewers may remember a gentleman called Nigel Winterburn, who was irreplaceable at Arsenal. It's a free kick now to Sparta Prague, who must find it hard to drink in the information that they are behind. Because in the passage leading up to that goal, they were certainly playing the more accomplished football. Svoboda's free kick. Keown with an excellent retreating header. Kanu. Arsenal with a lead, as they had in Lens 2 years ago on match day 1. As they might have had in Florence 1 year ago on match day 1, when Kanu had a penalty save. This is something they must grasp onto. Pires. Henri. Pires. Kanu. It's so deceptive, so languid.
Yes, he literally can walk by defenders with a sleight of hips and trickery of feet. He's massively skillful, is Kanu, and he's dropping off and he's picking up a lot of possession, a little bit like Bergkamp might do if Bergkamp was playing.
Henri. He's got around his man. Henri is taking the one all alone now. Well, it seems to be one at a time from Arsenal at the moment.
It was a bit of selfish play, actually, because he did superbly well, but Kanu was waiting alone and hoping that he would pull the ball back to him.
Pires. Kanu. Ljungberg. Keown. Luzhny. Tradition says that what Arsenal have, they hold. It's a tradition to which they must be keen to adhere now. Minar. Kanu.
I think Prague have got to get a hold of Kanu. He's picking too much up.
Oh, he's had a hit. He just fades one way, glides.
But he's got to be closed because he's able to come away and then turn and face them, and once the defender's allowed to do that, he can see pictures all over the place.
Silvino, tail up. Henri, nice idea. The flick didn't come off.
Vieira, having lost his ally Petit in midfield, he's playing very much the anchor midfield player. He's not looking to really break forward. He's leaving the talented front players to do all the clever work. He's sitting with Grimandi.
Tackled by Pires. Free kick is given by the French referee. Svoboda. Kinsel. Lucian's touch, not of the ball but of the ankle. So whilst the referee acknowledges the assistant's direction to give a corner, he in fact has overruled and awarded a free kick here in a position rather better than would have been a corner. It's Svoboda. It's beyond Kinsel. It's scraped away by Ljungberg rather uncertainly, and then belted with more conviction by Pires to safety.
Yeah, they're attacking the wide balls a little bit flat in the box. They need to stagger themselves. Every time Arsenal win the first header, they're able to clear comfortably. Yet the ball's into the box. The initial ball has been a good delivery. But if you look at the two centre-forwards, Kanu is all subtlety and grace, a very tall guy. And on the other side, also a very tall guy, but his is strength and determination.
Brigera. Away from Grimoni, in for Kinsel. We've got a lucky second go at it, and Seaman has had to come with Keown holding off Obaidin. There was a tiny bit of afters there. Kanu's got away from his man, as he does just so well, and then he's overcooked his cross with Henry jetting into the near post.
There's a nice ebb and flow about the game. Keown saving Arsenal at one end, down the other end immediately Kanu getting quite a decent cross in, but no one following up.
Obaidin, Svoboda. Brigera, Svoboda. Obaidin. By Pires. Here's Henry. Thierry Henry, of course, one of the three in this Arsenal lineup who are already European champions at a different level. Pires and Vieira, the others, and Wiltor on the bench. And if memory serves, had something to do with them winning that final. Novotny going down under Henry's challenge.
There's been a few tough challenges, but if I'm right, there's been no yellow cards so far, and I haven't seen an offside decision, I don't believe. Maybe someone spotted one. Indeed, eagle-eyed Peter Drury, there was an offside early on. One.
Both. Yuri Novotny. Mina. And Pires sliding back. Good determined performance from him.
Yeah, Pires is doing well. He's working up and down to try and quell the breaks of that man, Minar, who's been impressive on the ball in this first period.
Wide from Svoboda. Pausek wanted to break into the box, but Silvino is key at both ends of the field. Minar's throw, Vieira away. Yuri Novotny. Kanu. Bouncing on the line like clearance of a rugby fullback, wanting it to take one more bounce and drop out for a line out. We would rather if it stayed the right side. Mina. Kinsel. Away from Pausek by Silvino, perhaps the outstanding player on the Arsenal side in the first half. Obviously, no, it might be to say because he scored a terrific goal. His performance has gone way beyond that. And his contest with that man, Minar, has been one of the more interesting subplots. course, slipped, Arsene Wenger will have heard, to 6th in the Premier League last night after Spurs won and went above them. That's not a sentence that Arsenal folk like to hear very much. 3 points behind Manchester United and Leicester. It's interesting to note that in the Czech League, Sparta Prague's game was postponed this weekend to enable them to prepare for this Champions League encounter. It was to be their derby against Slavia Prague. They played 2 league games in September. Arsenal played 5 as well as the Champions League programme. Vieira.
Looks as though Arsenal have comfortably taken the strain. They've repulsed the early impact of the speed of the Sparta Prague attacks. They are in command at the moment, and to help them, Arsenal Wenger has just pushed in Freddie Ljungberg and Pires, playing a little bit more infield now, behind the strikers, making almost a square. So they're not too wide, so they've got plenty of compactness in the middle of the field as they approach the half-time.
Rosicki trying to run it. Svoboda. Miguel. Svoboda again dwelt perhaps a moment too long. Got away with it. Obaidi. Silvinho, right time, right place again. Pires. Silvinho is jetting up the left-hand side, and he's got away from the fullback Mina. It's Silvinho's cross. Henry coming in. Novotny with a critical header away, and then Grigera against Ljungberg for a Sparta Prague throw.
Silvinho very single-minded when he plays the ball and he feels the space to run into. He really hairs into it. It was a lovely ball by Pires. Could have resulted in a second goal easily.
Kanu. Oh, that's terrific, isn't it? Ljungberg. Oh, Stalker was made to think. Whether Ljungberg had that in mind is debatable, but the lob cross to the back post exercised the Czech goalkeeper and earned Arsenal a corner on the stroke of 45 minutes. Pires with the delivery. There's going to be 1 extra minute. There it is. Kanu, Pires. Bags of space for Dixon. Raimondi. Henry. Dixon. Kia, don't give it away now. They have. Novotny. Papausek. Asking Pinson for chase. Well, more than satisfactory, much more. It's a great start to the campaign for Arsenal. They have a lead away from home. It's a lead which came about because of a very, very special moment involving the mercurial Brazilian fullback Silvinho, who skipped past 1, 2, 3 and 4 and scored a terrific individual goal after Sparta Prague had been playing some of the better stuff. It's a good game, and from Arsenal's point of view, it's a good half-time scoreline. It's Sparta Prague 0, Arsenal 1.
Thanks to Peter Drury and to David Pleat, that fell on the referee.
Off what may turn out to be a pivotal save in the great scheme of things. Patrick Vieira there has anchored and directed, and Silvinho, who was in jocular conversation with him, has simply lit the place up. Thomas Postolka mesmerised by the Brazilians' brilliant run and finish. Arsenal's away form in the Champions League this last couple of years has been pretty good. Only 1 defeat in 6 games outside of England, that's in Kiev. Their away form, coupled with the home comforts of Highbury, which are still to come this year, could be key, David, and they look to be playing in classically the right way for an away game in Europe here.
Yes, they're playing very sensibly. They've withdrawn Kanu slightly. Henry is the man who's making the thrusts and the forward runs. on the left-hand side. Pires is dangerous and he's working very hard back, and the formation looks very solid. Not too many problems at the back. A couple of good last-ditch tackles by Keown has got them out of trouble, and of course that spectacular reflex save by Seaman. But of course they are in charge. They're 1-0 up away, and they've got to look after that ball.
Papausak. Rosicki. Again Papausak. This time he looked as though he'd got beyond Silvino tellingly, and the Brazilian wasn't having it. Exchange of views. A free kick goes Sparta Prague's way, and the first chance for Ivan Hašek's side to threaten since the interval.
They've got to stagger the runs here into the box.
Svoboda from the right-hand side. Up in the air of Pires. Obaidin hit it instinctively, instantly in first time. And the indication is that he got a deflection with that volley. It is a corner which David Seaman is going to have to face. Papausak is coming over for it. Sparta Prague's fourth of the contest. They lead in that respect. And they're close to going level there with a well-worked corner situation in which Yuri Novotny hurtled to the near post and got a deflection in a manner not dissimilar to the one which brought Seaman's first half save.
Well, good pace, nice fast ball, and a good bright run, anticipating the area and getting forward into that little space. I think it was just in front of Grimondi, and Silvino watched it closely as it went over the top of him, but they are quite dangerous from those set plays.
Kanu. Wolf nearly got into a tangle with Minar. Down for Rosicki. Papausak came off second best in a clash with Silvino. He's up against. Svoboda is charging forward, but ran into Luzhny. This is Grimondi trying to run between two, Rosicki and Obaidin. And the referee came to the aid of his fellow countryman. And there's another fellow countryman, not Gary Lewin in the foreground, but Arsene Wenger.
Obstruction in the first place by the talented young midfield player there, Rosicki.
Henri by Novotny. Obaidin. Rosicki got a touch. Last off Dixon. Down by Grimondi. Again, very close to the referee, Gilles Dessière, who thought he was climbing. It's Rosicki with the free kick. Mina.
Both teams the same shape as in the first period and the same personnel.
Rosicki. Brigera. Rosicki dwelt on it there and wanted days to think about it. This is Henri who's profiting from his over-pensiveness. This is Vieira. Kanu is all alone in the middle. Vieira was hopeful that Borg's challenge might yield a penalty. Gilles Dessière wasn't having it.
Well, once again in the middle, Kanu, who was originally coming into the space on the right, he saw Vieira breaking, he pulled away. If Vieira could have knocked that across, Arsenal may have been presented with another chance. But it was one of the few times that Vieira in this game has broken forward.
Grimondi flag up against Thierry Henry.
Playing Kanu in a very interesting position. It's so hard for either the two centre-backs, Bolf or Novotny, to go in there and mark him. And it almost inevitably means he's going to get some more possession unless the tall centre midfield player, the other Novotny, Pavel, can pick him up. And at the moment his hands are full because he's working with Lundberg.
Is Pires. Dixon galloping forward. Placed by Brigera. Against Brigera with the cross. Turn out for Rosicki, who left lifted and went off himself. This is Brigera, who steps inside of Vieira and stepped away from Grimandi. And Fed Rosicki, who's helped it on its way to Papalsek. This is a terrific move. It's in towards Kinsel. Keown's going back, but Kinsel had long since lost possession, and his protestations are in vain.
Well, a couple of opportunities have fallen to Kinsel, and he just hasn't shown the touch desired at this level. There you see the first touch getting away from him, and the actual challenge from Keown was irrespective. Didn't affect his control. His possession had got away.
He's looked a little ungainly. Vieira.
They've got a history of big centre forwards, the Czechs. The previous one, who's been sold into Germany, was 6'5", and of course big Jan Koller, now a Belgian player, was originally from this country. They like big target men.
Svoboda. Yuri Novotny. Mina. Rosicki. Grimandi did well. Henri Cushion. Silvino here, who had a dead leg. He incurred that against Chelsea. It was actually last week going to come off at half-time, apparently. That was the plan. They changed the plan at the last minute, and he scored that thundering equaliser. Missed the game at Bradford at the weekend, but returned here this evening to score another terrific goal, the one that divides the sides right now. Scored against Charlton also just recently, and right at the end of last season against Sheffield Wednesday. He's in quite a streak. Brigera. Right up against Novotny. This Sparta Prague side, remember, since their season began at the end of July, all they have known is winning. Novotny well in advance of the last defender when that pass was played. Only the second offside of the game.
Sometimes very difficult when you've been winning in a weak domestic competition to come in and...
Perez. It's got a corner.
And that was a fine tackle. It's sometimes very difficult to come in and play against a team where the quality is so much greater than in your domestic competition, and you have to get at them early, which they did do, but Arsenal were able to cope with that. Now we shall expect another flurry, because they need something from this game tonight, do Prague.
Perez with the corner. Kosztulka with the catch, unchallenged. Mina. Bit of space to run into now. Rosicki. Svoboda. Shot was against Grimandi.
He's done quite well, as Svoboda. With a good appetite for the game.
Good noise now as Svoboda delivers, and Seaman punches Obaidin back in. Vieira threw himself at the ball and did well.
That's the second time Obaidin have pitched up.
Aimed in towards Pavel Novotny. Vieira with the header away.
Yeah, that's the second time in the game that Obaidin, second time in this half, that he's stayed on the edge of the box when the corner's being taken, almost anticipating the header out, and in a position where he can pick up the ball for an effort at goal. Arsenal need to watch that. Keep an eye on the edge of the box.
Svoboda, who does sometimes operate as a sort of libero. He's Yuri Novotny's deputy in that position, but he's director of midfield affairs here this evening, and that is Yuri Novotny hitting it from deep, aiming at Kinsel, who that time did okay to keep the ball from crossing the byline, but to no great profit. It's Dixon. With a rare loose touch, Rosicki receiving. Svoboda. Keown across in front of Obadin. Skip, little thought, and shuffle the ball on. Lovely to see.
Left foot, right foot, left foot. There we go again. Left foot, right foot. Changes the play so well. He's lovely to watch. He's got super, almost deceitful footwork. So difficult to get in a challenge.
Keown. Looking long at Henry. Out by both. For Brigada. And now Svoboda, and Sparta are going to have to pick this up now. Obadin, Rosicki, Obadin was still down, referee hadn't seen a foul. Arsenal had so many players at the scene of the crime. They made themselves favourite to win the ball back, and Ljungberg can go forward with it. Svoboda nicked him from behind. That's okay for Arsenal.
Well, you may consider the French referee as a little bit liberal at times, but he's always close to the action. He's letting the game flow.
Had a very good game, I think.
Be interesting to see across Europe tonight if there's many yellows, cards that is.
Keown. Going the wrong way from his point of view, and Henry was right on him, and that is very accomplished defending in the face of one of the continent's sharpest strikers right now. Brigada through the legs of Tremonti. That's worked out nicely. Pavel Novotny. Papalsek. Side netting. They thought they'd scored. 20,000 of them thought they'd scored. The net rippled. Papalsek had driven with good pace, good verve, good drive. But it was the wrong side of the post.
Superb move from the experienced Yuri Novotny at the back through midfield to Pavel Novotny. And then we had Brigada pushing that ball through. Here we see the run, the driving run of the midfielder Novotny through the legs of Lusny. And could Popowski, could he have hit it across the box?
Pires. Away from Mina, who tackled back and had hold of Robert Pires. As the indication suggests, a little tug of the shirt. More than a little tug.
And a little bit of cramp too, and that's not a surprise, because that man really drove forward in the first period. He's a young player. He's taken the eye tonight.
And that is Horst Siegel, the blonde-haired number 10. In much the same way as Kinsella, a classic big centre forward, and it wouldn't be surprising if it was Kinsella who gave way to him. We shall see. Mina, as you see, is struggling a little. Meantime, Arsenal's free kick. The header away was by Kinsella at the near post, and the flag was up anyway for an infringement on the edge of the 6-yard area.
That was a good decision. The referee and the assistant both in line and both in agreement.
Kinsella, who was the second top scorer in the Czech league last year with Žižkov, who you might recall played Chelsea in the Commonwealth Cup 3 or 4 years back, before coming here to replace Lokbent, who was top scorer. Even Henry, with all his pace, won't get there before Poštulka. Pavel Novotny. Grigera. Dixon stepped in. Ljungberg helped him. Still came back to Grigera from Svoboda. His first time ball to the near post was read by Keown.
Yeah, I think Keown was a bit lucky there, Peter. You know, he was thinking of going and making the interception against Brigada. He held his ground, unfortunately it was a bad ball in.
Kanu wanted to put Vieira in. Svoboda, cut out by Vieira, who's done very little wrong. Svoboda in on Ljungberg. It's going to be an Arsenal free kick. It's going to be a substitution for Sparta Prague now, and that is the change that we had anticipated. Marek Kinsel coming off hasn't had all that happy an evening. A couple of chances, one of them rather embarrassingly missed, and neither of them certainly taken. And in place of him, Horst Siegel, 31 years old, and as you hear from the reception, the local hero. He's been around a while. He scored goals in this competition way back in 91-2 against Marseille and Barcelona when the Champions League was just gathering its modern shape. Rosicki. Pires tackling back, Rosicki holding him off and then running into him. Mino, Papausek, Pavel Novotny. Novotny's drive against Dixon. And Grigera didn't have the legs to keep it in, he was happy to settle for the corner.
Well, they're driving on still and they're showing a good degree of fitness, and that may be because they started the season, of course, much earlier than Arsenal.
Svoboda again is over the corner. Hasek has made his first change. Flicked on beyond Seaman. Was it by Vieira?
Well, it was once again the run of Yuri Novotny that caused the problem. You always feel they might grab something from a corner kick.
On by Siegel, who wants a second bite at it. Nasty one for which Seaman has to compete. And the referee has offered him protection. A shake of hands with Siegel.
Seemed to jump early there. He seemed to want to get the ball at sometimes what we call the highest point, but sometimes you must say it's the point that's most comfortable for you. It was certainly impeded as you went up there by Siegel.
Got up well there. Kanu shuffled it on. Ljungberg was after it. From Yuri Novotny. Keown for Luzhny. Lee Dixon. Thousands of times in his life, or so it'll feel, he'll have been in a position where Arsenal have been 1-0 up. And he has been charged with ensuring it remains that way. Keown likewise alongside him.
It's rather strange how much of the play was down the right-hand side, that is the Czech right-hand side, of the Arsenal left in the first half. And in this half, much of the approach play has been down the left-hand side for the Czechs, the right-hand side for Arsenal. I'm sure this man receiving the ball now would prefer more of it, because he was a threat in the first half, and now he's going to go forward on those buccaneering runs again, perhaps. Well, slightly negative ball, had no forward options.
Longer forward from Yuri Novotny. But the well of ideas would appear to have dried up, at least temporarily. Arsenal do have their substitutes warming up out of picture. Kanu has headed on. Aurier in the box. And the ball didn't bounce the way he anticipated, or so that seemed.
Well, defender Bolf will be very fortunate there. Henry lost him. Clever run, quick run. And if the ball would have got kindly, I think there could have been easily a second goal.
Rosicki. Grigera. Aimed at Siegel. Out well by Luzhny. Kanu. Hefty clearance from Dixon down the channel. Novotny ahead of Henry and meeting it. Henry wants a corner. He ain't going to get it.
Well, warm applause for the Novotny. 12 championship winning medals at this club. That's loyalty. He's 30 years old. He's had 24 caps for his country.
Just about the only one of the really prominent players who stayed at home after Euro '96. And he's very much appreciated for that here.
Enjoys his football.
Couldn't take it cleanly. Pavel Novotny helps it on its way. This is Minar. Slipped at the very side of Pires.
I think he's struggling and he's running out of steam. And I think the cramp will get him.
He's gone, hasn't he? He played so well in the first half. Here's Dixon. Henry, clever little step over. Too clever by half for both. Free kick in favour of Thierry Henry, whose goal-scoring record in Europe is particularly spectacular. 8 European goals last season, only 1 in the Champions League. But this man, fouled there, has more European goals for Arsenal, those 8, than he has made starts. 7. Prior to tonight. Pires with the free kick that Henry has earned. Headed out by Pavel Novotny. Corner. And the great surge of noise that accompanied the start of the second half is eclipsed now by the bellowing of one Ulsterman. Pat Rice off the Arsenal bench. It's relatively quiet inside the Letna Stadium. These are worrying moments for the home team, the home fans, trailing by a goal to nil and facing Silvino's corner. Headed away at the near post by Siegel. Ljungberg clashed with Obaidi. Dixon played it forward again. And Pavel Novotny held it up for Yuri Novotny. Papalsek couldn't gather possession because Minar sold him a little short. And Papalsek, I would think, would be very aware that the guy immediately behind him, his colleague down the right-hand side, is struggling badly now. And that will increase his workload. Henry was offside.
Henry very much the lone front man. Kanu been withdrawn. Ljungberg tucking in on the right. Pires tucking way in on the left-hand side. There's a sea of red shirts for the white-shirted players from Czechoslovakia to penetrate. Not easy, hard to make a chance.
Rosicki hasn't really had a chance to make it his game yet, but he's teasing Luzhny here. He's got a few tricks in the bag, and Luzhny has had to give him a corner.
Well, we're waiting for that young man to explode. There's the referee just telling him a little bit of common courtesy, put your shirt in your shorts. But he's made a couple of decent runs with the ball, but certainly the more mature players in the team have caught the eye tonight.
Papalsek's corner. Up in the air by Pires. Another corner. Papalsek in again. Up by Grimondi. Chased out by Henry in a manner which didn't curry favour with the French referee.
Well, he got the free kick, but in common terms he bottled it, I think. And he's been a bit fortunate to win the free kick. Looked as though he was going to jump for the ball, made no attempt to jump, and Arsenal have been punished.
Last 20 minutes for Ivan Hasek and his Sparta Prague side, which trails, as you see on the scoreboard there, by a goal to nil. Svoboda's free kick. Forward again by Obaidin. And Svoboda couldn't keep it in. There's a debate down by the advertising hoardings involving Silvino, but his at the moment has all the makings of being the final word. Perez given more room to turn than he kind of believed, and now taking on Mina, who's showing good fortitude, good spirit to plough on, despite the fact that physically he is clearly suffering a bit now. Bit of niggle in the game. It's reaching that critical point. Dixon. Oh, Yuri Novotny has earned here, and Thierry Henry is onto it. Made to turn by Briguera, forced wide. And settling for a throw.
Henry's got such skill, and when you put it on skates, it's very hard to cope with. Briguera is quick, the left back. I've been impressed by him tonight. I think he's going to be one that comes into another European team before long.
Vieira. Henry. Rositzky with nowhere to go himself, inviting Mina to become involved again. And whereas in the first half from the halfway line he would just have been setting off, this time he stalled and invited others to do the running. This is Briguera, who has more left in the tank. Obaidin laid it off for Rositzky. Novotny. It's a very smart ball for Svoboda, whose first touch was intended to take him beyond Kanu. Who stood his ground well. This is Patrick Vieira now for Arsenal. Perez. And out by Grimondi. Arsenal just have to hold it together now as we head towards the last quarter of an hour or so. Svoboda. Lundberg's tackle on Pavel Novotny.
That's good harassing by Lundberg. Made it difficult for Novotny. Novotny annoyed at his colleagues, didn't show angles. But it was to Lundberg's credit that he wasn't able to get his head up and see any angles.
Novotny. Mina. Yuri Novotny. End of Siegel, out by Dixon. Brought down by Grimondi. Uncomplicatedly up into the clouds. Henry competing for it and losing in the referee's jurisdiction to Briguera. Mina's cross aimed at Siegel, who had a little niggle with Dixon going back there.
It's good defending by Dixon. He tracked Siegel as he went into the box from the diagonal ball. Very experienced, canny fullback Dixon. Seems an age since he was at Bury.
plus appearances for Arsenal, but if you add on Bury and Stoke and I think Chester, maybe one or two others, it's heading up towards 800 senior games in Lee Dixon's life now. And Arsenal are making a change, and Sylvain Wiltord is going to come on for them in place of another European champion, Thierry Henry, for whom this wasn't to be the night, personally speaking. But Wiltord, we know, is some super sub, certainly at international level. A shake of French hands and a change of personnel up front for Arsenal. Wiltord still to break his Arsenal duck.
Still play the same way, do straight 1-for-1. Wiltord will make the runs in behind the full-backs for the release ball in the last quarter of an hour or so. Arsenal comfortable, sitting, happy to get behind the ball.
Perez with the free kick. Wiltord is a new target for him. Kanu's in there too. Vieira's in there too. It swung beyond a lot of them. Wiltord had to retreat to keep it in. And then to drag it back out by Mina.
Poor ball in. Had plenty of time. But he's fresh, he's new. Probably needs to get one or two touches.
Wiltord, who hasn't scored, of course, since that last-minute equaliser in Rotterdam for France. Perez was amongst those celebrating with him. Kanu.
Wonderful skill.
But it only came to Rosicki, who's head beyond Dixon and has head beyond Vieira, and Dixon has galloped back well to make some sort of a cover, which just denied Rosicki the chance to play the forward-looking pass he was really wanting. Best we've seen of this teenage prodigy, though.
He's certainly got pace, and he's certainly got some acceleration with the ball. But it's his two midfield colleagues, the tall Novotny and Svoboda, who have dictated in that area for the Czech team.
Rosicki's pass, Bruguera onto it. Couldn't find Obaidin. Grimondi away. Nervous times these for Arsenal. Grimondi did well, did the simple thing right. And a change for Sparta Prague. Papausek is to be withdrawn, and it's another out-and-out striker who'll replace him. It's Martin Prohaska, a Slovak international, as opposed to Czech. Formerly of Kosice, you'll remember that club. Manchester United met them a couple of years back in the Champions League. Had a knee injury which kept him out for much of last season, but is fit again now. The end of the evening for Papausek, who sits down next to Kinsel there in the dugout, in the hope that others can dig them out of this nasty predicament from their viewpoint. And now another change for Arsenal, involving the withdrawal of Frederick Ljungberg and the first appearance of a new Arsenal season for Nelson Vivas, who spent the last 15 games of last season on loan to Celta Vigo, and who hasn't played since returning, except for 10 minutes in Lima last week, with Argentina in their 2-1 win over Peru. He replaced Diego Simeone that night. He replaces Freddie Ljungberg tonight.
Well, Freddie Ljungberg's played wide, he's done a good job, he's worked hard, he's tucked in, but he hasn't made those breaks from the centre of the field with pace going past people, which I think he enjoys doing when he's running at people, but he's done a good team job. And he looks pretty tired. Not surprising.
Here's Vivas. First Arsenal touch since December. Perez. Silvinho. Came back up to Kanu, who threw a right foot at it, but in truth, never looked to have the right shape for the shot. Prohaska. Rosicki. Completely new front line now for Sparta Prague. Prohaska and Siegel. With Obaidin apparently having moved a little further wide left in front of Grigera. Forward by Yuri Novotny. It is Obaidin who's arriving. This is dangerous for Arsenal. Obaidin! Well, the angle was prohibitive, but he was prepared to have a belt, albeit from just a foot and a half from the byline.
Well, he got the angle quite good, actually, because the ball seared above the bar, but it went across the left-hand shoulder of Seaman. No doubt see that again. I think it caught a lapse of concentration there with Keown and David Seaman. Here we see it as he comes through. He gets it well across, gets it beyond.
Thumped up into the air by Vieira. Wiltor competes. Out by Novotny, came to Vivas. Grimondi helped out. Forward again by Vieira. Kanu. Vivas outside of him. Wiltor just inside of him. No one behind. Kanu decided to go himself. It broke for Vivas. Grimondi in too hard on Rosicki.
I don't think you can have too much complaint about that, Grimondi. From the back.
Grigera. Rosicki. Just solidity, that's all that's required by Arsenal now. They have every right facet in their team here to hold on to a goal advantage. It's only history that makes you nervous, because these first days have gone wrong for them over the last couple of years when they've seemed well set. Pires. Silvino, look at him galloping again. He's still as fresh as a daisy this late in the game. And still a box of tricks and delivering towards Wiltor.
It's such an easy runner, Silvino. He carries very little weight, glides across the top of the ground. That was a good cross. His final ball's been quite good tonight.
Kanu. Just didn't take the ball with him that time. Yuri Novotny bringing it away. Pavel Novotny. Obaidin is onside. David Seaman's awake.
Well read. The Czechs will have to make another substitution. The right back, Minar, has battled well, but I think his resistance has finally ended. He's got to come off. He won't get the full distance. I'll have to make a third substitution, I feel. He's a passenger in the far right back position, and he certainly won't be able to make any more forward runs.
Pires, who might relish running at him if he gets the chance. He won't this time. Yuri Novotny, the tackler. Pires got it back. Vieira touched it for Kanu. Silvino fancied a dash at the opposing fullback as well, but they've gone to Dixon instead. Pires. Silvino, just how adventurous will he feel like being? Luzhny. Wiltor. Silvino. Keep ball for the last 5 minutes. Perhaps that'll do. Perhaps more. Wiltor. Silvino outside of him. A chance here for Arsenal to wrap it up, but the flag is the spoil sport at the party. Silvino has his own opinion on whether he was offside. Oh. And here is the change that had to come. There is a guy who has sweated cobs for the cause. And in the first half was really outstanding, Minar. A lot of sympathy for him and a lot of admiration. But he has nothing left to give, and his replacement is Jan Flachbart, an under-21 international, signed from Bohemians of Prague last year. Only played 20 Champions League minutes prior to this against Barcelona at the end of the last campaign here. Seaman got away with the potential accident. Prohaska charging him down. Scored 1 goal in 3 Champions League appearances last year. 3 Champions League appearances, which it ought to be said amounted to 47 minutes against Willem II. Kanu's flip. Wiltor imparting some pressure on Grigera. Postolka in a hurry now. Sparta Prague in a hurry. Last 4 minutes to save themselves a point. Wolf. Grigera. Raimondi protecting the back line. Kanu being fouled by Pavel Novotny. Arsenal in no hurry at all now. Many of these players will remember Lens 2 years ago when the position was identical. Overmars then had given them the lead. And Tony Verrell in stoppage time denied them a couple of points.
Silvinho getting forward more and more down the left-hand side, even though the minutes are ticking away. Pires dropped inside, trying to use the width to get Silvinho, who looks one of the fittest players on the field, to try and get him forward. But I think it looks as though the Czech resistance is finally spent. I think they've fought very hard. I think they've been a credit tonight. But I think Arsenal look as though they're going to safely bank the 500, whatever it is, Swiss francs. $500,000, I think. And they're on their way.
But 2.5 minutes still to play. Swoboda over the free kick. And almost everyone forward to threaten David Seaman. Silvinho's was the header up. Lifted back into an area patrolled alone by David Seaman. No Champions League clean sheet for him prior to tonight. Pires. Wiltor. Out by Flachbart.
It'll be fascinating to see how many starts Wiltor gets this season. Bergkamp, of course, sitting at home probably watching this game, feeling quite comfortable about the performance. But Kanu and Henry are a very interesting pairing. One with all the touches and one with the pace and skill.
Long from Grigera. Siegel. Flachbart. Couldn't get inside of Luzhny, but the manner in which his path was blocked was spotted by the referee, who's awarded a free kick. Silvinho and Luzhny both had arms across him, but perhaps would normally expect to have got away with that. Even so, in the 90th minute of scheduled time, Sparta Prague have a free kick in a position which, from Arsenal's viewpoint, is perilous indeed. Swoboda lifting it in. Header out to Flachbart, who's gone crashing down. Grigera. Sparta's ball. Grigera wants everyone in the box. He's going to wind himself up now. Dixon's header out. Flachbart couldn't gather. Wiltor has acres and acres into which he can run now, though very little in the way of support. Grimaldi's arriving now.
Good ball.
Pires. Silvinho going outside of it. Pires coming inside. Arsenal have left 8 back. Grimaldi is sensible enough. It's not exciting, but 3 points would be. And we're into stoppage time. Vieira, the Arsenal supporters now whistling at the referee, imploring him to end the game. Dixon, he's given it away. Prohaska, Rosicki, through the channel for Siegel to chase.
2 straight. Nice comfortable one for Seaman to read. Need an angle on that type of ball.
That'll do very nicely for Robert Pires. He and Silvinho down that left-hand side can let seconds elapse, even take a drink. Now, inconveniencing Luzhny, who's as strong as an ox. Briguera. Svoboda kept it in Sparta Prague's possession. Rosicki. It's now or never for them. Flachbart. Running at Silvinho, who timed his tackle well. Kanu. Wiltor. Pires, this is sensibly conservative from Arsenal. Dixon. Rivas for Pires, who went down but wasn't fouled. Obadin. Rosicki. Siegel. Flachbart. Nervous times these for Arsenal. Flachbart delivering. That'll ease the nerves. Come on, says David Seaman, we've no need to give the ball away. Keep it.
I think the Czechs have done a lot better than some people anticipated. They've run Arsenal close. They've always felt Arsenal had a little bit extra in the tank.
Turn, and the ball was actually handled there as he tried to make tracks down the flank. The end, and that is what Arsenal were after. The initial uplift of points here in Prague, an improvement on the last 2 years, and the home comforts of Highbury to follow next week and the week after that. It was a magical goal from Silvinho in the first half that settled it, and a performance of great efficiency thereafter, which made it all come true. Arsenal have done the job here in Prague. They've kicked off their Champions League campaign in ideal fashion, 1-0 winners in the Czech Republic.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks to David Pleat as well. 500 or 600 Arsenal fans just a few metres from where our studio is, celebrating a very efficient performance indeed by the side from North London. It might not have been the most captivating second half of football you've ever seen, but for Arsenal, Lee, it'll do just fine.
Yeah, it wasn't a great spectacle second half. Arsenal played a game of containment. Although Prague had 2 or 3 chances, you always felt Arsenal were in control and could have scored another one if they had to.
Yeah, Paul Elliott, I guess we'll look at them in a few minutes' time. That at the home side, they'll be in the dressing room thinking, we made some chances here, perhaps we should have converted some of them.
Yeah, should have done, but like Arsenal with their situation, when you play away from home like that, the priority is not to get beat, not concede. They've gone one better and they've got a positive outcome.
Absolutely. More from both Lee and Paul later on. Also the highlights from Ibrox as well. It's been a terrific night there for Rangers. All the other Champions League scores as well. We will be right back with you from Prague.